Hello, this is Bart Sharp, Nexus Energy Transformation, talking to you today about ghosts, entities, and energies that are on your body or in your home, influencing your life. Yes, we do have ghosts. I am a ghostbuster. Of course, the popular term now is ghost hunting, and I just like to talk to you about ghosts and entities. They're two different things. And then there's energies in the home that are different, but all of them together do create a influence in a home or a business, and affect various things. And it's always unique. So when I talk about a ghost, or what is a ghost, that is someone that's been a human, um, or been in a body. It doesn't not necessarily be a human, but most of the time it is a human, and has died and has not moved on. And generally, these ghosts have lost a really big portion of their identity. They do not remember who they are or what they are, but they are really tied to this plane or this reality by some strong memories. And that's why we have ghosts that, for example, live in a house or protect a house or do a specific behavior continually, because that is the only memory that's left in them. And then it's really sort of sad that they have such a narrow viewpoint. And from what I perceive, a ghost is as the more they spend disembodied, they are losing that um, uh, memory of themselves, for that lack of better words. And so that's why we have ghosts that live in a house, for example, and they're attached to a house because they have maybe have been a previous owner, and that's a very strong memory for them. And so they stay there believing that they are still alive in most cases, and that they're still owning the house, and they're walking around in a reality that just feels just as normal to them as normalcy does to us living in a home. For example, I recently worked in a home, and this is a great example of how ghosts and entities do work together. Um, this home was a home slash daycare, and so it had just an energy that was really heavy in the middle of the school area, the classrooms, and it just felt like that's where the ghost was. It felt heavy. There was a really heavy energy there, as there seemed to be this connection with the land that um, had a lot of energy coming up from the land. So the entity attached to that. I'm from Austin, Texas, and there's a lot of limestone underneath the homes, and the limestone is a great conduit for energy. And sometimes you'll have these small fissures or energy areas, energy vortexes that are bringing energy up more specifically to one area, sort of a minor power spot. And sometimes a ghost will really hook into that and just sort of drain off of that energy. As did this ghost. And this ghost really felt like this was his home. And he wanted to know what all of these intruders were doing there. And this ghost did not seem to like children a lot. So there was a lot of chaotic energy there. And parents would have been taking their kids out of the school because they didn't like the energy. Staff had quit because they didn't like the energy. And no one could really put a finger on what it was all about. So, the ghost was really a heavy influence. Now, most ghosts do not have that much power to influence a whole home like that. And why do some ghosts are able to do that and others are not? I find that they really do connect up with different power sources and sort of ride that power to empower them. And so this ghost was using the energy of the land, but also he was attaching entities to his spirit, and that was giving the ghost more power as well. Now, entities are dimensional or other dimensional beings from lower dimensional planes. They do not have a body. They're etheric. They're more of an energy and with some consciousness, but not a lot of consciousness. They are more connected to energies. And so they are attracted to certain types of energies, mainly lower dimensional energies. So entities like places like bars, they like to attach to people who are angry a lot, that like to fight, people who are addicted. Entities attached to these people, people who are in a lot of fear. That's what the energies of entities, that's what the energy of people that the entities are attracted to. So they just latch right on and stay with this person. They influence the person by recreating that vibration or making it bigger in the person, and therefore influencing the person's thoughts and behaviors by just adding that energy. So they're more apt to be mad or fearful when they have more entities on them. Also, the entities drain energy off of a person. So when you get entities removed, a lot of times you feel just much better. You have more energy. And when I walk into a store, and on occasions when I do get entities, I will feel a drain. It almost feels like something's just wrong. It's almost like I'm about to pick up some sort of illness. And I'll ask, truth, is this an entity? And if my body feels expanded or if it reads, I know it's an entity and I promptly remove it. And then after a short period of time, my body goes back to normal vibrancy of energy that I had before. So they influence us that way. And people that have had hundreds of entities, it can be quite a detrimental effect. And I've worked with a variety of people with lots of entities on them, and there's a lot of variety of entities as well. And it really does influence their physical well-being, their emotional well-being, and their energy. So, going back to the ghost in the daycare/home, this ghost had lots of entities attached to it, so it was a process of removing the entities and then just asking the ghost to leave, and the ghost left. Because the ghosts are really unconscious. They really are lost, and they really need help moving on. And so it's a real favor to remove entities, move ghosts on. It just helps the whole vibration of our planet because we're moving out lower vibrational energies. Now, another energy that really influences homes is energies of other people. For example, if there was lots of fights in a certain room, there would be that energy of that anger there. And it's as simple as connecting and addressing the anger and using the clearance of access energy transformation, you can clear the energy out quite easily. So those type of things really do influence the things, even to the extent of sadness, depression, maybe in a bedroom where the couple was arguing and there wasn't much love there. That's an energy that lingers. And so the next family that moves in, the next couple that lives in that room, may just sort of oddly feel estranged to each other and they not understand why. Could be the previous energy. And all of this stuff is pretty easy to move out. That's the amazing thing, but it's just a little subtle energy that's out there. So when I ghost bust into a home, and I do feel lots of energy of anger and stuff, and I know it's not an entity, I always start looking at the persons and people that live there and seeing if it's theirs or if it's of a previous owner. Now, if it's the people that do live there, they will recreate those emotions again because they've most more than likely not resolved them. And so this is another thing that Access addresses, is those emotional states that people seem to perpetually bring themselves in, such as anger or fear or shame or various other things. and really getting down to the root of what was the creation of those and clearing that stuff so that they can have more freedom in their lives to be happy, to be creative. And so when we do clearings in homes or on people, we look at all three of those of ghosts, the entities, and the energies that create those, because it's a real conglomeration of all of those things. And they can all be moved out pretty easily. So I'm Bart Sharp, and I invite you to play. Bye-bye.